I just walked by some kids that were playing in the street and they're like, excuse me, there is glass in the street. And I'm like looking around, and then their father walks up at that moment and they're like, Dad, there's glass in the street. He's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about it? All right, today I have a little bit of a mission. I am walking around. I've got a seltzer, just a regular old everyday seltzer. And I'm gonna go to the bank and cash a couple checks and then go get my hair cut. Tier 2, weeks 5 through 8. And that took place at the cafe on the corner of 74th and Gleason. It's a regular, everyday cafe where you can go and get breakfast sandwiches, coffee and pastries. And it's busy. It's like way different. It's not like classroom. It is in a professional kitchen, hands-on learning from an amazing chef instructor, Chef Sabah, and she's just a real badass. It was busy. It was hectic at times. And she got us to do so much food production in 3 hours. It's insane. One of the coolest things about Tier 2 and that style of learning was I got to see my classmates just like improve drastically. When the pressure was put on them to do more stuff, they did amazing. They rose to the occasion. They were freaking awesome. I'm just so proud of the folks that I'm in the class with. And I hope that they're proud of themselves because they're doing an amazing job. And I hope they know that. The class focuses on a lot of baking and other cooking techniques as well. Look at this car. We may have to stop and take a quick peek at this car before I continue. Oh yeah, baby. So lots of hands-on baking. Plus we were baking stuff for the cafe, making banana bars and scones and cookies that they would actually sell in the cafe, which was pretty cool. And it also put a bit of like pressure on everybody because those things were getting sold to people. It wasn't just like we're making them and then taking them home and having a good time with some free cookies. We were making a product that was going to customers. There's a gigantic skeleton across the street. The first week was primarily baking, and then we did some cooking. We made our own burgers at one point, and I mean, we made like basically everything. We made the buns, we made the patties, of course. We didn't make the cheese. We made the mayonnaise and other sauces that went onto said burgers. This completely normal and totally on the level seltzers hitting the spot. There's nothing strange about this seltzer at all. I'm using the koozie simply to keep it cold and off of my hands. Yeah, let's see, what else did we do? We made birria tacos. That was great. We made bolognese. That was all right. that one day, all can't be winners. Made some, hollandaise, mayonnaise, remoulade, exploring different sauces. I don't know. I'm not going to go through everything we did. We cooked a lot. It was just a lot more cooking techniques, deeper techniques, less about knife skills and production and sanitation and food safety, which was tier 1. Tier 1 was like baseline. Tier 2 was like, if you got hired for a cafe back of house, that's what you would be doing. You'd be learned how to make some freaking pastries and how to prep things like potatoes and eggs for breakfast sandwiches and breakfast burritos. That was the day. All right, so it was fun. We understand that, Kurt. What were some of the challenges? I think that the biggest challenge was the location of the cafe. Granted, we knew that going in. I knew. They made sure, like, are you gonna be able to make it to the cafe? Are there any obstacles between you getting your ass to the cafe 4 days a week? No, I get it. It's up on 74th and Gleason, whatever. And it sounds all right when on paper, but then in practice, you're like, man, I'm so tired of going out to 74th and Gleason. Some of the other challenges, it was just fast paced. You gotta be ready, you gotta be on it, and you gotta be willing to learn and be taught. Do what the chef says. She's the chef. Do what your damn chef says. Don't freaking argue. Don't ask questions. Well, you ask questions. Yeah, I take that back. Ask a lot of questions. They have to be the right questions though. And you have to ask them the right way. Just do what your chef says. And if you're able to, everything that she does is like a mini lesson. You will learn so much just watching that woman work. If you have the ability to just focus in on everything she says and does, you will realize that everything from the way that she frosts a banana bar to how she rolls out scone dough is a mini lesson. And that woman is so filled with knowledge and experience, and she's just a really rad instructor. Oh my gosh. Got another certified backyard habitat here we got to take a look at. It is just a gorgeous time to be alive walking around in Portland right now. I mean, what do you do about this? How do you take this in? How do you live knowing that this exists? One other challenge, aptly named the Black Box Challenge, was possibly one of the more challenging things that I think the students encountered, and it was the last week of Tier 2, where we were given a worksheet with a bit of a challenge. I'm gonna walk backwards so you can take a look. So amazing. Fucking Portland. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I can't handle how gorgeous it is right now. Oh my gosh, can we sit here? Is that like off limits for us vlogging losers? Are we not allowed? Look at this birdhouse. Black Box Challenge. Okay, that's another one. Stop looking at the gorgeous gardens, Kurt, and talk about the Black Box Challenge. Black Box Challenge, it's a worksheet, and you pick a protein from a list, you pick 2 veggies, you pick a starch, and then you pick a sauce, and you have to make up a dish. Make it up, figure it out, figure out what you're gonna make. You know, you could use the internet, you could like use ChatGPT or whatever you wanted to use to figure out a recipe. If you suck, no, I'm just kidding. It's fine. It's fine. You can totally use Google and ChatGPT to get yourself some inspiration or find yourself a recipe. No one is going to judge you on that. I mean, maybe I just did. Maybe I just judged the whole class a little bit. No, I don't want to be a jerk. It's fine. It's fine if you need to use AI to tell you what to cook with your ingredients. What I did was I was given that worksheet and I just deeply thought. I sat and went into deep thought about what the hell I was gonna make. I'm gonna try to like not talk about how cool all the lawns are and just maybe try to get them in the shots from now on when I'm talking. But from the list, there were carrots, mushrooms, yada, yada. And then from the proteins, it was like chicken, ground beef, sirloin steak, like some vegan and veggie options, and starches. You know, you got your potatoes, rice, polenta, and then from the sauces, hollandaise, mayonnaise, and some of the mother sauces. But I saw polenta and I immediately was like, what am I gonna do with this polenta? I started sketching out a dish. It started with fried little cubes and then turned into fried balls. And then I sketched one of those balls bisected and revealing duxelle of mushrooms and chicken plated on a smear of carrot puree with a little side salad of peppery greens, maybe a watercress, maybe an arugula, who knows? And a pickled shallot, right? Just like Tier 1, we received an assessment, a skill assessment, a list of skills ranked from 1 to 3, like 3 basically being like job ready, 2 needs improvement, and 1 is like, you're in trouble, buddy. And then a short summary from the chef instructor of what it's like having us in class. And it's good. It's good to receive critique. How are you gonna get better if you don't understand your limitations and where you can improve? Oh my gosh, another one? Like I said, I think that everyone really grew as cooks, and I hope that they're all proud of themselves. I'm telling you, if you're thinking about doing this Stone Soup program, you really ought to give it a try. If you think that you got nothing to learn, well, maybe it's not for you and you're just a little too cool for school and you should, I don't know, go do something with yourself. If you're like, I don't know, I have a little bit of skill, I'd kind of like more. I'd kind of like to get a job, but I don't know where to start. I'd kind of like to know a bit more about cooking and food. You should look into it. I started Tier 3 today, 4 more weeks, but it's only 2 days a week. And it is actually working for me in the production kitchen, cranking out those many, many meals that I mentioned in my last video about Stone Soup. Yeah, 2 days a week with only 2 other members from my cohort in there. We're all split up and scattered. So that's why I say it kind of feels definitely like the beginning of the end, because last Thursday was the last day we would all be in the same place at once until we graduate. And I fear it may be the most challenging tier for everybody, simply because the exhaustion, right? You've been doing it. It's already been 8 weeks. You're alone, or you're with one other person maybe. We're not all there to give the same support we were able to give previously. Yeah, I just hope that my cohort members keep their chins up and persevere, realize that it's only 2 days a week and the end is so near. And one day we will be standing side by side once again for graduation, where we will rejoice and receive our diplomas or whatever certificate they give us. We'll all go on our merry separate ways. Yeah, I figured I would just pick up the camera. It's been a minute. Talk about how Stone Soup is going. Been busy. Been a lot of changes in life since the last video, and I will get into that another time, but I just wanted to keep this about Stone Soup, and hopefully I'll get a moment to pick up the camera again and talk about exciting things like a job. What? You got a job, Kurt? What? Yeah, that's all right. Kurt got a job. I'll tell you all about it in the next one. Thanks for watching, dudes. Thanks for watching, dudes. Is that going to be the new sign off from now on? I don't know. Guys, I don't know what I'm saying. I never know what I'm going to say. I just pick up the camera and start talking. You think I script this out? You think I'm like using ChatGPT to write myself an intelligent script to deliver to you? Well, how would I be reading it? I got a freaking seltzer in one hand and the camera in the other.